The life cycle of the Sun. The Sun, like all stars, has a finite lifespan determined by the nuclear fusion processes occurring in its core. Currently, it is in the middle of its main sequence phase, where hydrogen is being fused into helium. This phase has lasted about 4.6 billion years and is expected to continue for roughly another 5 billion years. Hydrogen fusion and core heating. As the Sun exhausts its hydrogen fuel in the core, the fusion process will slow down, causing the core to contract and heat up. This increased temperature will eventually cause the outer layers of the Sun to expand. The Sun will enter the red giant phase, significantly increasing in size and brightness. The red giant phase. During the red giant phase, the Sun will expand to many times its current size, potentially engulfing the inner planets, including Earth. This expansion will lead to a loss of the Sun's outer layers into space, creating a planetary nebula. The intense heat and radiation from the expanding outer layers will strip away the atmospheres of nearby planets. Helium fusion and further expansion. As the core temperature rises further, helium fusion will begin, forming carbon and oxygen. This phase will be relatively short compared to the hydrogen burning phase but will involve the Sun pulsating and undergoing further expansion and contraction. The Sun's outer layers will continue to be lost during this time. Formation of a planetary nebula. The outer layers of the Sun will eventually be ejected into space, forming a colorful shell of gas known as a planetary nebula. This process will occur over several tens of thousands of years. The nebula will consist of ionized gas and dust illuminated by the remaining energy of the Sun's core. The white dwarf stage. After shedding its outer layers, the remaining core will become a white dwarf. This white dwarf will be a dense, hot, but small remnant of the Sun, composed mostly of carbon and oxygen. Over billions of years, the white dwarf will gradually cool and fade as it radiates away its residual heat. The impact on the solar system. The transformation of the Sun will have profound effects on the solar system. As the Sun expands and loses mass, the orbits of the planets and other objects in the solar system will be altered. The increased radiation and the loss of the Sun's mass will likely lead to the destabilization of the orbits of planets and potentially even the ejection of some from the solar system. Long-term evolution of the white dwarf. The white dwarf stage will last for a very long time, potentially for many billions of years. Over this time, it will continue to cool and dim. The white dwarf will eventually become a cold, dark, and inert remnant, known as a black dwarf, although this process will take longer than the current age of the universe. Potential for life on Earth. As the Sun approaches the end of its life, the conditions on Earth will become increasingly hostile. The increase in solar luminosity will lead to extreme temperatures and the potential loss of Earth's atmosphere. This will likely make Earth uninhabitable long before the Sun reaches its red giant phase. Future solar system observations. The eventual fate of the Sun and its impact on the solar system will be observed in the distant future. Studying other stars at similar stages of their life cycles can provide insights into the processes that will affect our own Sun. Advances in space exploration and astronomy will help us understand these cosmic transformations and their implications for the solar system.